This will be the second official business venture, the first being an indoor organic farm where we use alternative methods of cultivation of vegetables that's much more efficient and much more environmentally friendly and cheaper to the end user. So that's my first business, but it's a much larger project and it's taking some time to get there. I've always had an interest in music my entire life. I never thought I would be in the music industry or the entertainment industry in my life, but originally this was just, this club at least was a stepping stone for the farm, but it's become much more than that. It all started about a year ago, almost in this month. I was originally working for a contracting company, and we had the contract to come in one day and quote the windows on this place. At first, I didn't really have that much interest. I knew it was a good business move, but I didn't really have that much interest in getting into the industry. And then after about a week of sleepless nights, staying up and thinking about it, I realized that it was a sign that I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I had to jump into it and see where it takes me. And this venture, early on in the game, well, essentially, right after I had decided that I was going to take up this club as a business, I went right to my friend Lindsay, who I knew had experience in marketing and the service industry especially. She was fresh out the service industry and heavily into marketing and social media advertising and things like that. So I knew she'd be a good person at the very least to talk to about some advice. And I brought her in the location. She instantly started to fall in love with it as well. Pretty shortly after we had our first meeting with the small business advisor, we had our application in and we were approved for $15,000 in credit. And that's what we used to get ourselves off the ground and was our main source of funding for this entire project. Our DJ roster has been constantly developing since we opened. There is a huge amount of local talent and local DJs here that had a lot of difficulty getting shows downtown because before our club, the other clubs downtown were primarily dominated by 2-3 DJs, what they call resident DJs who were there every weekend and repeating their show. Basically, we came onto the street with a different strategy. Instead of having the same DJs, our strategy was to give the dozens and dozens of DJs on the island a chance to, voice their music. Our DJ roster developed over a year from originally we had 5 or 6 DJs when we first opened. Now we have well over 40 DJs on our roster in contact. Definitely far more than any other bar on the street. We put more money in the hands of up-and-coming DJs than basically anyone on the street that I can imagine.
The community of DJs, I feel since Levels has become a thing, it's given them a place to work their craft, like I said earlier. But it also gives them a place to collude with one another and mingle and hang out and network, right? So it's become almost like an industry meeting point. So it's very, very family-like, very community-like.
My style is more, not aggressive, but just on the heavier side of electronic and stuff like that. So not everywhere on George Street lets you play that kind of stuff. Everywhere is kind of more inclined to be top 40-ish and EDM and stuff like that. Well, different clubs, I guess, but Levels just let you play whatever, and they're kind of more pushing against the top 40. And so you can really develop your own style here if you want.
Dance music is becoming now more like they're going back to more like livelihood instrumental now, right? Like more people are performing with guitars, pianos, and pads, and all of that, right? So like basically any music that you can think of out there, you can sample it, you can remake it, and you can, you know, bring it up to 128 BPM and make it what you call EDM.
It's different, and I think that's what I like about it. I've grown to like it a lot more since working here. At first I was like, where's the lyrics? I can't catch on to this at all, but now it's like, I don't know, you can really tell the difference between the DJs. Every weekend it's someone different.
Well, electronic music is definitely the fastest growing music genre of all time in history. It's seen its boom in Europe, probably late 90s, mid 90s. In the States, you know, more into the 2000s, and in Canada a little bit later. And Newfoundland is always a couple steps behind on certain things like this because of our nature being an island and stuff like that. And so you can really see the pattern we're going to follow, and it's definitely going to boom here soon.
I really want to see the electronic community grow, not just in sense of DJs and producers, but listeners.
Levels is now capturing a lot of people's attention, and it's we haven't even had any good publicity yet, but like I said, the staff and the owners, you know, they put a lot of work into like social media promotion and all of that. So, and the best thing about it is that all that the big DJs that they play in this city are coming here, and they are playing right now. So that's a big accomplishment and difference.
Not only does a variety of DJs bring in a variety of people, it also gives us a chance to put money in these guys' pockets so they can go back to the music store and reinvest in their music and reinvest in their skills. Last year we were only opening in July and trying to get our word out there. At least this time our name's already out there, and we're expecting a bigger surge this summer. So we're expecting this summer to be extremely profit heavy.
Well, Levels really does have that family sense, that communal sense. You know, it's not just among the employees, it also is among the people who perform here and the patrons. We have people who come and say, this is my favorite bar, it's the only place I'm going to come Thursday, Friday, Saturday if I'm downtown.
It feels like more of a family other than other clubs. I come in and I don't even feel like I'm working. Like, you're just here and you want to come down before work. I've never been like to a job early more than like here.
That's what it feels like, family. Everyone's just kind of meeting up, hanging out, and just spend the weekend here together and then reset button on Monday.
Here you have so much more of a support system as far as like management-wise and stuff like that.
It's a very interconnected, networked, relevant, with the times family. It's the electronic generation expressing themselves in music.
Imagine yourself now and you're living in the Renaissance. Levels is that bar in the Renaissance because this place, they don't just sell liquor or you know, just play the music. Like, they sell beauty, philosophy, you know, and knowledge. And that's the best thing about it. Like, you just don't come here to drink, you know what I mean? Like, there's always some smart conversation going on. Like you always learn something from here, you know. And like everybody here is friendly.
We basically came onto the street and tried to give people the ability to develop their craft a little bit more, to get their voice heard, and to let everyone just to let the music scene develop organically rather than forcing it with money and policies that chase profit. Yeah, based on what we've built, we're gonna hold on to it as long as possible, and there may be other ventures in the future. I ask myself, why is Newfoundland, as one of the music and arts cultural capitals of North America, why are we so behind on electronic music's progression? So that's what I'd like to see in the near future of electronic music, is more cooperation, more DJs coming around, more people starting to like the music for the content and not for what comes with it, the drinks and everything else. I'd like to see big festivals start coming here. I'd like to see George Street have a George Street Fest that is primarily electronic music, and we use the stage for DJs and stuff like that. I'd just like to see the progression of the culture here. It has been booming here, but we're going to see something much bigger as well, where we're going to see electronic music become more of a culture than a thing to do, to go out and listen to music and dance with your friends. We want to really create a community and a culture of music like you see in Europe, where you see entire cities participating in electronic music festivals and helping bring them to light, and the city lights up, and tourists fill the city for electronic music events and things like that. And that's what I'd like to see for Newfoundland one day.